This is the all-time rosters injury report for Week 16. We begin in Kansas City, where one of the greatest linebackers of all time is out for the year with a broken collarbone. So the Chiefs acquire one of the greatest kick returners of all time in the human joystick, the Chiefs' Dante Hall. The season is also over for the second all-time leading tackler in Jaguar history, Darryl Smith. So the new starter is Kevin Hardy, and with the extra roster spot, Jacksonville acquires the quarterback out of Marshall, Super Bowl champion Byron Leftwich, to add some depth behind Trevor Lawrence and Blake Bortles. The Giants will have to make do without cornerback Eric Barnes, who will miss the rest of the year with a partial PCL tear. New York has been eliminated from the playoffs, so they put Barnes on IR along with Mark Bavaro, who's set to return in a couple weeks. Spider Lockhart is the new free agent acquisition at cornerback for New York, and Sexy Dexy is the fifth defensive tackle signed by the Giants. The all-time Buffalo Bills are going to need a free agent acquisition as well after Tre'Davious White went down with a partial groin tear. So in comes return man C.J. Spiller. Devastating news in Dallas as the playmaker will miss the season with a herniated disc on this hit from Brian Dawkins. Bob Hayes is the new number one, followed by Drew Pearson, Terrell Owens, CeeDee Lamb, Dez Bryant, and a star out of the 70s, three-time Pro Bowler Tony Hill. In the same game, one of the greatest offensive linemen of all time went down for the season with a broken jaw. That's Bob Brown. So Landon Dickerson has been acquired by Philly. And finally, the five-time NFL champion Willie Wood, who arguably was the greatest player for the Packers in the Vince Lombardi era, goes down for the season with a dislocated hip. Green Bay acquires a man that didn't just shine on offense, but was a great safety. Don Hudson is in for Green Bay. In quarterback news, the Steelers will name Terry Bradshaw the four-time Super Bowl champion starter when they play the Browns next week. Pittsburgh has nothing to play for as their seed has been locked in when they battle the Browns. Speaking of the Browns, one of the 13 players to return this week from injury is their fourth-string cornerback in Denzel Ward. And a look at the other 12 guys returned from injury, led by starting safety Bob Sanders and the backup of Buffalo in Steve Freeman. Lardarius Webb is back after missing 9 games with a broken collarbone, and star receiver Stanley Morgan returns for the all-time Patriots. Some good news out of Philly as Hugh Douglas returns for the Eagles when they battle Washington this week, and the new linebacker for them and LeVar Arrington. Charles Woodson returns at the number 2 position for Green Bay at cornerback, and 2 fullbacks return this week, led by Super Bowl champion Matt Snell and the Hall of Fame fullback out of Stanford, Joe Perry. And finally, we have 3 Chargers players returning from injury, and they have a chance to upend the Raiders and end their season. Hall of Famer Lance Allworth, Hall of Fame tight end Kellen Winslow, and the star cornerback of the Chargers, Antonio Cromartie, are all back from injury for Week 17. And that concludes the injury report for Week 16 of the all-time rosters franchise. There are officially 49 players placed on IR. Among the 12 current playoff teams, none of them are involved with the Bears, Niners, Steelers, and Titans Oilers, so they are completely healthy going into the final week of the season. Meanwhile, the most injured playoff teams are the Browns with 4 guys on IR, headlined by Paul Warfield. And the Bucs also have 4 players injured for next week with 3 on IR. One of them is the best fullback in franchise history, Mike Alstott. This is the all-time rosters franchise with Charge 95.